All right, it is that time again. It's James Dand from Inner Anthem with another episode of Inner Anthem Insights. Today, I'm going to give you 4 words. In fact, I'm actually going to give you 8 words because I'm going to give you 2 versions of this, 2 different versions, but going to give you 4 words that you can ask yourself, you can say to yourself to turn a negative into a positive, a negative situation into a positive, a negative circumstance into a positive. That is what it's about today. So have you ever had a negative situation in your life? Of course you have. You might find that daily you have things which you perceive as being negative. And this is the first thing that I want to raise. It's about perceptions. You see, let me give you an example. Let's just say that you were in traffic. There was a big traffic jam. You were looking to get somewhere. You were driving somewhere, but there was a big traffic jam. Now, of course, you might say, well, that is a negative situation. You wanted to get there. You don't want to have to sit in traffic, etc. Perhaps someone else sees that as a good opportunity to sit back, relax, get some time on their own, play some music, listen to their favourite songs, or listen to the radio, or learn from an audiobook, etc. So it's the same situation, just 2 different ways of perceiving it. We can perceive it as negative or positive. So what that actually tells us is that each individual situation is actually neither positive nor negative. It's actually neutral. The situation is neutral. It's the way we perceive it, which is negative or positive. So therefore, we have the power to change the way we see something from a negative into a positive. Now, little caveat to this. I'm not a believer in making everything positive, so like everything's okay and there's no negatives. No, sometimes there's situations in our life that we're not happy with, that we want to improve, that we want to do something about. So we can recognize it as a current negative, but what we can do, there's always ways in which we can turn that negative into ultimately what will become a positive. And I'd like to share with you just a couple of simple ways in which we can do that using some questions. Okay, so like I say, just to reiterate, it's our perception of the situation. So how about this question, this 4-word question? Here it is. What's good about this? What's good about this? You see, we can get really tied up with all the negatives, and we get a bit of bad news or a situation doesn't go as we planned, and that little voice in our head keeps going on, and it's blaming, and you might feel embarrassed, ashamed, guilty. You might be playing the victim mentality. I've done it so many times before myself. But if you can ask yourself the question, what's good about this? And to start with, your mind might say nothing. So ask it again, and ask it again, and ask it again. You may even want to write a list. And I'm not talking about a 5-thing list, I'm talking 50, 100 things about what's good about that particular circumstance. If it's something that's really big for you, you're not going to do that obviously with every perceived negative. But if it's something really big, you can actually write a list, and it really helps you to look at the alternative, transform your mind. Now, another 4 words that you can say are, what's the opportunity here? Okay, or you can shorten it. Where's the opportunity? What's the opportunity? You see, whenever there's problems, whenever there's challenges, some people ask that question, where's the opportunity here? Because where some people perceive a challenge and a problem and a negative and an obstacle and a barrier, other people see an opportunity, a way of learning, a way of growing, a way of working out how to solve that problem so that they can benefit from it. So that's another really powerful question as well. What you want to do is try to change your mind so that you're constantly thinking in those ways, so that you, when you get that perceived negative situation and your mind starts to close down, making you stressed, making you feel overwhelmed, making you feel anxious, making you feel really down, depressed, angry, whatever it is, sometimes by asking good questions, you can come up with good answers. This will change your state. It will make you feel more positive, but also it then aligns you with working ways around that so that you can continue to move forward, or developing yourself, learning more, growing more. And these are all positives, of course. So has that helped you today? If it has, please write a comment below. Please share this video with anyone who you think might need this message now, or just share it generally so that we can actually help more people. If you're watching this on a replay on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button as well. That'll help me reach more people. I really appreciate it. As always, any questions, do let me know. My name's James Dan from Inner Anthem, and I look forward to serving you again soon. Bye for now.